Have you ever been on the ramen noodle every night diet because that's all you could afford? Or maybe you have, in the immortal words of the band Everclear, known the joy of a welfare Christmas? There are a number of reasons someone might fall into an income bracket in which they would be considered poor. Sometimes companies leave and take their business to another country. Sometimes a person is born into poverty and they can't break out of it. Sometimes it's due to government mismanagement. And sometimes a pandemic comes along and decimates the economy. Whatever the reason, there are some areas that are harder hit than others. In this video, we're taking a look at the 10 poorest counties in the state of Iowa. There are two different ways to measure which are the poorest, either by median household income or by poverty level. Many economists feel that the poverty levels are inaccurate because they're based on a model from the 1960s, so for this list, I'm using the median household income. So here are the 10 counties where people are bringing home the least amount of money. Webster County has a population of 35,904. Approximately 71% of the county's population reside within the county seat of Fort Dodge. The remaining county residents live in tiny little towns that range from 30 people up to around 950 or so. As the name implies, Fort Dodge began as a military installation, but the Army abandoned it in 1853. A man whose parents must have lacked creativity because his name was William Williams came along and purchased the land and buildings. He set up a town, keeping the name Fort Dodge. Some buildings from the 1800s remain and are part of the Fort Dodge Museum. There's also an art museum for visitors to check out. The median household income for Webster County is $47,466. When surveyed, employees in this area listed sales, office administration, and management as the top 3 types of jobs, and the top 3 industries were healthcare, manufacturing, and retail. Respondents also had an average commute time of 16.7 minutes. Webster County has a poverty rate of 12.1%, with the most affected demographic being young women between the ages of 18 and 24, but really it affects all women more than men, as you can see in this graph. The average home price is $99,100, and homeowners comprise 68% of the households in Webster County. They pay an average of between $800 and $1,500 in property taxes annually. Those who rent pay an average of $642. 2.8% of the county's residents are foreign-born, so 4% of the households speak a language besides English. A not-so-fun bit of data, Webster County has the second highest number of STD cases in Iowa. They average a per capita rate of 579 per 100,000 people. Wayne County has a population of 6,441. It's the 5th least populated county in the state of Iowa. The county seat of Corydon is also the largest community within the county, with a population of around 1,600. The median household income is $44,768. The poverty rate is 19.1%, with the hardest hit demographic being men between the ages of 35 and 44. The top 3 industries in Wayne County are manufacturing, healthcare, and retail. The number 1 type of job listed by respondents on the census survey fell under the category of management, with 361 people giving that answer. Respondents also indicated that they have an average commute time of 23 minutes. Home prices in this area average $81,100, with homeowners accounting for 81.1% of the households. The remaining 18.9% who rent pay an average of $524. Foreign-born residents make up only 1.3% of the county's population, but 10.5% of the households speak a language besides English. An issue that sometimes is seen in poorer areas is an inability to access healthcare services. This could be due to not having the means to pay for services, since 12.3% of the residents are uninsured and another 19.6% of the residents are on Medicaid, or it could just be a lack of providers in the region. For example, in Wayne County, there is an issue with not having enough dentists. According to the University of Wisconsin Population Health Institute, there is only 1 dentist to care for everyone in this county. They also don't appear to have any mental health providers in the area. On top of that, 11.7% of the adult population have diabetes, and 33.9% of the adults are clinically obese. Wapello County has a population of 34,969, which is down 1.8% since the last census. Most of the population is concentrated in the county seat of Ottumwa, where 25,000 people live. The poverty rate is 14.2%, and it affects women between the ages of 25 and 34 the most. The median household income is $46,246. Home prices average $82,100, and property taxes average between $800 and $1,500. Homeowners account for 71.5% of the residents. Renters pay an average of $718. Foreign-born residents account for 7.7% of the county's population, so 11.9% of the households speak a language besides English. Wapello County has a few health issues. They have the highest concentration of smokers at 18.1%. According to a 2018 report, Wapello County is also the homicide capital in Iowa. The per capita rate is 6.07 homicides per 100,000 people. However, the population for the entire county is about a third of that, so it only equals out to about 2 homicides per year. The most common jobs cited on the census questionnaire fell into the category of production occupations. 2,570 people indicated that they work in one of those positions, which makes sense because the largest industry in this county is manufacturing. It accounts for 22.4% of the employment opportunities. Healthcare and retail round out the top 3 industries. Employees spend 18.3 minutes on average driving to work. There are a few fun facts about Wapello County. For one, the setting for the American Gothic painting was in Wapello County, in the town of Eldon. It was painted in 1930 after the painter Grant Wood went for a drive through the area to look for inspiration and spotted the house. Another fun fact is that Ottumwa is the hometown of Tom Arnold. He was once married to Roseanne Barr, who used a small restaurant from this town, the Canteen Lunch in the Alley, as inspiration for the Lanford lunchbox on her TV show Roseanne. Van Buren County has a population of 7,044. The county seat and largest village, as they refer to it, is Keosauqua, which has about 1/7 of the county's residents living there. This is a county that prides itself on having a slower pace of life. According to the county's website, there isn't a single fast food restaurant or stoplight located there. What they do have are outdoor activities such as hiking trails and fishing. They also have historical sites. Keosauqua is the location of the oldest continuously operated courthouse in Iowa, which is also the second oldest in the country, as well as many other buildings from the 1800s that can be toured. The median household income for Van Buren County is $48,591. The most common jobs are production, management, and office positions, with the main industries being manufacturing, healthcare, and retail. Employees spend an average of 22.6 minutes commuting to work. The poverty rate is 12.8%, with children being the hardest hit demographic. Homes in Van Buren County average $92,800. 81.3% of the homes are occupied by the homeowner, and property taxes average less than $800. Renters pay an average of $571. 89.2% of the adult residents have graduated from high school. 14.4% have earned a bachelor's degree, which is about half that of the state's average. Foreign-born residents make up 1.5% of the county's population, so 6.4% of the households speak a language besides English. Union County has a population of 12,241. The county seat and largest town is Creston, which was the hometown of Frank Phillips, who started the Phillips 66 gas station chain. They have one of the gas stations from 1931, which has been renovated to retain its historic value, acting as a visitor center for the town. They also have a historic village that resembles a community from the 1800s. The median household income is $49,900. The most common jobs listed by respondents were in production positions because the most prevalent industry is manufacturing. It accounts for 25.9% of the jobs in this county. Healthcare and retail were in the second and third spots. The average employee spends 17.3 minutes commuting to work. The poverty rate for the county is 12.1%. It affects women ages 18 to 24 significantly more than other groups. The average home price for this area is $104,000. Property taxes average between $800 and $1,500, and 70.4% of the homes are occupied by the homeowner. Rent averages $609. 90.3% of the residents have graduated from high school. Southwestern Community College is located in Creston, so 430 or so people earn an associate's degree every year, with 54% of those being liberal arts degrees, and 18% of the residents have a bachelor's degree. In addition to economic issues, Union County also has health issues. It has the highest percentage of adult obesity in the state. 39.4% of the adult residents have a body mass index over 30, making them clinically obese, and 11.5% are diabetic. 17.3% of the county's residents are Medicaid recipients, and 6.72% are uninsured. Monona County has a population of 8,615. It is located on the western border. The county seat is Ottawa, which is also the largest town in the county with approximately 3,000 residents. Monona County also contains part of the Omaha Reservation, so 1.5% of the demographic makeup of the population is Native American. Lewis and Clark came through this area during their expedition in 1804. There is now a site memorialized as the Lewis and Clark State Park, which covers 176 acres. The high school graduation rate in Monona County is about the same as the state average at 92.3%, but only 15.3% of the residents have earned a bachelor's degree. That helps contribute to a lower income for this area. The median household income is $47,605, and the poverty rate is 12.3%. The most common industries in Monona County are healthcare, retail, and education. The most common jobs listed by respondents were in the categories of office and administrative support, sales and management positions, and the average commute time to work is 21.3 minutes. 72.4% of the households are occupied by the homeowner, and the average home price is $86,900. Homeowners pay less than $800 in property taxes on average. Renters can expect to pay an average of $613. Lee County has a population of 33,657. It sits on the southeast portion of the state and borders Illinois and Missouri. This county has the distinction of having two county seats, Fort Madison and Keokuk. It's the only county in Iowa to have two, and this seems to be due to the early settlers being a difficult bunch. Fort Madison was established as the county seat in 1838, but it caused some controversy. Residents who lived away from the Mississippi River complained that it was too far away, so then they made the town of Franklin the county seat, but people complained about that too, so they never got around to actually putting up a county building there. They then decided that they would put it to a vote and let the people decide. The three towns put on the ballot were Fort Madison, Franklin, and West Point. The people in Fort Madison offered to pay for a courthouse if they were picked, so they ended up winning the election. But it didn't end there. West Point petitioned the Iowa Assembly to move the county seat to their town, and the Assembly agreed, but West Point never actually became the county seat. So then, another special election was held to relocate the county seat. This time, the communities on the ballot were Charleston, Franklin, Keokuk, Montrose, West Point, and Fort Madison. Yet again, the voters picked Fort Madison. But then the two population centers in Keokuk and Fort Madison started a rivalry, with each wanting to be the county seat. The General Assembly eventually threw in the towel and passed a special act to make both towns a county seat. Now that's the history of it. How the county actually runs with two county seats, I'm not sure. Maybe there's a line running down the center, and if you're on one side you do business at one courthouse, and if you're on the other side you go to the other, or maybe you're free to choose which one. If anyone knows, leave a comment because I'm really intrigued by this one. It seems like it could add confusion to bureaucracy, which is confusing enough as it is. The median household income for Lee County is $49,564. The poverty rate is 15%, with the largest group impacted being women between the ages of 25 and 34. The most common jobs in this area fall into the categories of production, administrative support, and management. The most prevalent industries are manufacturing, healthcare, and retail. The average home in Lee County costs $94,500, and the majority of people in this area own their homes. 74.4% of the households are occupied by the homeowner. The remaining 25.6% who rent pay an average of $670. Despite the low income, the high school graduation rate for this county is higher than both the state and national averages at 93%. The number of college graduates is also higher than the state average, with 31.5% of the residents having earned a bachelor's degree. Jefferson County has a population of 18,295, with approximately half of the residents living in the county seat and largest city, which is Fairfield. The Maharishi International University is located in Fairfield, so every year they get a celebrity to do the commencement speech. They've had Jim Carrey, actor Stephen Collins from the show Seventh Heaven, who is also a Fairfield native, and political correspondent Candy Crowley, just to name a few. The university also hosts an event with film director David Lynch called the David Lynch Weekend for World Peace and Meditation, which draws in musical acts like Moby. Fairfield is also home to over 40 software and telecom companies and a plethora of startups, so it's been given the nickname of Silicorn Valley. Thanks to the presence of the university and the tech companies, this is one of the more educated communities on this list. 93.2% of the residents over the age of 18 have graduated from high school, and 31.5% have earned a bachelor's degree. The average home price in Jefferson County is $118,300, with 66.3% of the households being occupied by the homeowner. They have property taxes that average between $800 and $1,500 annually. Those who rent pay an average of $685. This appears to be an area where there is a significant disparity between those who are getting ahead and those who are struggling. Between the tech jobs and everything else that this area has to offer, it would be expected that they would have a decent income level, but the median household income for Jefferson County is only $47,708, and for the city of Fairfield it's even lower at $40,920. To put that into perspective, the median household income for the entire state of Iowa is $60,523. That means that there are many people who aren't making much, which drags down the median. You can see this in the poverty rate of 14.2%. Jefferson County residents also have one of the shortest commute times in Iowa at 14.7 minutes, and 12.5% of employees worked from home before the pandemic. Since this area has a lot of tech jobs, it attracts a more diverse population than many other parts of Iowa. The percentage of foreign-born residents is 9.3% of the population. The demographic makeup is 11.5% Asian, 3.2% Hispanic, 2.6% Black, and 80.9% white. Due to there being more people from other parts of the world here, 9.4% of the households speak a language besides English. Decatur County has a population of 7,870, and it's located on the border shared by Missouri. The county seat is Leon, which is the second largest town in the county. This county has lost 6.9% of their population since the 2010 census. It might be partially due to lack of economic opportunities. The median household income is about a quarter less than the state average at only $44,462. The poverty rate is 18.3%, and it affects women ages 18 to 24 the most. The most common job cited on the census survey is management, with 13.7% of the respondents listing that as their occupation. That's followed by office and administrative support and sales. The most common industries are education, retail, and healthcare. The average commute time is 24 minutes. Homes in this area average $83,200, with homeowners comprising 67% of the households. The majority of homeowners pay less than $800 in property taxes. Renters pay an average of $567. The high school graduation rate is 89.1%, which is lower than the state's rate, but 1/4 of the adult residents have earned a bachelor's degree. Foreign-born residents account for 2.4% of Decatur County's population, so 5.9% of households speak a language besides English. Similar to some of the other counties on this list, Decatur County has an issue with the residents accessing healthcare. For every one primary care provider, there is a patient caseload of 2,740. 22.9% of the residents are Medicaid recipients, and 9.43% are uninsured. 9.9% of the population is diabetic. Appanoose County has a population of 12,426. They've lost 3.6% of their population since the 2010 census. It's located on the border of Missouri, and the county seat is Centerville, which is also the largest town in the county, with a population of 5,528. At one point in time, the main industry in this area was mining, but that has given way to manufacturing, retail, and healthcare. However, they are struggling to keep manufacturing plants in this county. The most common jobs cited on the census survey were under the titles of office and administrative support, production, and sales positions. 3.55 times more people work in farming, fishing, and forestry positions than would be expected for an area this size. Commuters spend an average of 21 minutes getting to work. The median household income is $40,167, and the poverty rate is 19.3%. The average home price is $81,400, and property taxes for this county average between $800 and $1,500. Homeowners make up 71% of the households. Those who rent can expect to pay an average of $624. Due to the low wages, people in this area can't really afford health insurance, so almost 1/4 of the residents are on Medicaid and 6.91% are uninsured. Only 37% are covered under an employer-based health insurance plan. That contributes to people having health issues, so Appanoose County has the highest prevalence of diabetes in Iowa at 13.3%. Being poor sucks. That's all there is to it. I hope you liked this video. If so, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content related to the Hawkeye State, let me know in the comments section and consider subscribing to the channel. If you didn't like it, well, keep that to yourself. Your mother should have taught you that if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I remain stuck in the Kernfield.